Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with another best of 5 series for you, this time from the European scene, as we have a great engagement in between Finland and France, spawning here on Lightshade LE. Currently two of the best players Europe has to offer. These games have been played around the year 2022, but I don't know the exact date, so once again let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. As we are spawning here in the upper left in the red, it is SERRAL from Finland. And his opponent in the lower right in the blue, it is CLEM from France. CLEM, of course, a very young player, starting to play Starcraft really at a very young age, being supported by his family. SERRAL also young and a very known player. Many consider him to be one of the best Zergs, if not the best Zergs, along with Rogue and Dark, for example. And yeah, let's not forget Jaedong from Broodwar, the tyrant himself. Now yeah, let's have a look at the opening. Pretty standard open up here by CLEM, with supply depot into barracks, not deciding to wall off. Let's see what his next options are going to be. We've seen some 3 racks strategies, and let's have a look if CLEM is also going to decide to go for this strategy. Meanwhile, SERRAL looking like also very pretty standard open up build order, fast expansion into spawning pool and gas, actually into gas and then spawning pool. So the pretty standard open up here. SERRAL deciding to scout the map for some proxy barracks, but there is no such thing as CLEM decides to go pretty standard and even saving money here for his fast expansion. So yeah, one Reaper will be really soon out, just to annoy of course the Zerg as much as possible. You can see of course the rally point of course from that barracks straight into the expansion point, and the must scout SCV for any Terran, just to check if there is an expansion or not. If there wouldn't have been an expansion, of course the Terran would have known that SERRAL would have been at a fast spawning pool, and even some Zerglings would have came towards him, so the command center might have had to be cancelled. Now the next building is a factory, so CLEM might try a 1-1-1 open up, so 1 barracks into 1 factory and 1 starport. Starport is of course a must for any Terran against the Zergs, as those medivacs are really much needed just to harass those mineral lines as much as possible. Now let's just see what this one Reaper can do. No kills yet, as the micro is really nice by SERRAL. And yeah, 1 queen already out, should be able to push this back. 1 Zergling really low, so the Reaper might try to hunt it down. Let's see if he's going to be successful. Almost killing there 1 Zergling, but yeah, in the end SERRAL will of course hold, as he has also taken out his other expansion point. So yeah, the Reaper showing his presence, not getting any kills. And let's have a look at the next steps. We can also see in the upper left part, just in case I'm missing something, we see the upgrades for both players, actually the production tab, so sorry about this one. So yeah, let's have a look. Double Hellion for CLEM, so double Hellion is going to be perhaps going to try to drive them over towards SERRAL's expansion, as the starport is really delayed, but more and more Hellions are being produced. Of course, Hellions early on really strong against the mineral line from SERRAL. This is exactly why SERRAL just leaves here 2 queens just at the entrance, just to block those Hellions as much as possible. The Overlord nicely sees the timing from those Hellions, as some Zerglings and some queens already here to respond. Now let's have a look at the main once again. We see more and more Hellions being produced, and interestingly enough a Liberator for them, so he might try once again to harass the middle line from SERRAL with 1 Liberator. Even the main could be harassed, and not that many defenses here for SERRAL, so this could be really deadly. But let's once again look at those Hellions with the 1 Reaper in the front. Can they do something here? But there's just so many queens, but this could be of course a distraction move by CLEM. So let's be careful with this 1 Liberator, where exactly it is going to be flying. Like I told you, the main is really vulnerable here for SERRAL, and there are no overlords here into this location, so he might try to fly away with this 1 Liberator, as I'm still checking the map for the Liberator where exactly it is, and there it is in the lower left part. So even this could be also a nice spot. You can see the range from the Liberator, and even the Hellions coming here soon, but SERRAL really fast onto reacting. Maybe it would have been wiser for CLEM to try to attack with the Hellions here and with the Liberator here, but then again, who am I to tell? One of the best Terrans in Europe what to do. So here of course he knows much better. One kill for this one Liberator, and yeah, the Hellions trying of course to snipe as many eggs as possible from those queens. Yeah, the Liberator even going to try to snipe one queen, so nice shot by him, but in the end yeah, the queen will take him out, as some Zerglings will fall here as well. So pretty good hold by SERRAL, not losing so many workers. One queen has fallen, just a couple of Zerglings. As you can see, worker-wise, SERRAL having 51 versus the 46, and army-wise, both of them pretty much at the same count. Yeah, the Hellions, of course, CLEM would have wanted those Hellions to deal so much more economic damage, especially into this place. But yes, SERRAL having those defenses. Still notice that in the main there is no spore, so it might have been a better idea for CLEM to go there, but yeah, he's going for his expansion as well, so he's playing really safe. Let's check his main once again. 2 barracks, 1 factory and 1 starport. Let's check SERRAL. He's going for some evolution chambers, so for some upgrades, and he goes into lair, as the Baneling nest is also being finished really soon. So yeah, it's going to be a Link Bane mass push perhaps by SERRAL, and yeah, really good against the bio from the CLEM. So CLEM of course decides to just add one tank almost every time. Really good against any round units, as more and more queen eggs are being spawned. The creep spread is really nice here by the Finnish player. Let's see what he can do against the small move out by CLEM into this location. Zerglings are here on standby. The queen will also be brought back, and yet CLEM finds a nice position here for this tank. Some queen eggs will be cleared. We even have a medivac now, so slowly but steadily CLEM of course tries to deal much damage as possible towards SERRAL, but yeah, those queens can of course heal themselves onto this one creep. And Stim has also been finished by CLEM. We can also see armor and weapons 1, so 1-1 soon it's going to be for those Marines. But hold on, we have a nice push here by SERRAL with mass Zerglings, but Hellbats on the ground. Hellbats really strong against those Zerglings, so yeah, SERRAL has to retreat. At the same time CLEM trying to punish SERRAL with his hatchery, trying perhaps to snipe it if he's lucky, trying to lure of course those units into the tank. Right, in the end SERRAL of course tries to run by, tries at the same time to lure CLEM out of his base, and just tries of course to reach somehow those SCVs in the back. Let's see if he's going to be successful, as he's still roaming around into this place. He also has some Banelings, so this could be really strong. The Banelings could break the door, the entrance. Let's have a look. CLEM with a mistake here. He opens the door for those Zerglings, so this could be really deadly for him, as the Zerglings are pouring in. CLEM even has to retreat those forces, so such a mistake, big mistake here by him, opening the door for SERRAL. SERRAL of course just saying thank you for that, and just walks here. His Zerglings in the front, sniping as many SCVs as possible, and of course delaying so much mining time, so much chaos once again being caused. 8, even 9 workers have been killed. So yeah, CLEM with a small mistake, of course it happens, the door has been left open. Perhaps CLEM just with a so much higher APM, not paying attention, having to retreat, having to micro those units into this location. SERRAL also noticed that only 9 SCVs have been killed, some SCVs still in the red, and the Banelings also didn't get that many good connections, so it's a pretty good outcome for CLEM, even though the mistake was quite huge. And yes, SERRAL once again preparing another bust here through. Let's have a look. Is it going to be this location once again? And yeah, Marines with Stim in the front, but SERRAL has also taken here this location in the low left, as many more units are now being drawn out by SERRAL. So SERRAL pretty much multitasking once again, as he has to defend against this push out. And yeah, it looks like he's going to defend, but at the same time he's going to attack with so many Zerglings. The wall-in is this time completed by CLEM, but those Banelings will of course bust here through and deal as much splash damage as possible. Perhaps CLEM knew that the Banelings would come through, so this is exactly why he left the door open. This could also be a possibility. But yeah, let's see how things unfold, as SERRAL still remaining on mass Zerglings with Banelings and Queens. No roaches, I don't see any ultra-risk of course. He's going out for his hive, so we might see some ultra-risk on the ground of course, really strong against those Marines and even against those tanks. But right now just mass Zerglings with Banelings for SERRAL. Just a couple of Zerglings checking the water here for them, as CLEM at the same time moves here out with his Marines. Not any defenses this time here for SERRAL, as he has to pull those drones away, but the hatchery might get sniped. So yeah, in come finally the units from SERRAL, really fast onto that creep. At the same time, SERRAL once again attacking here into this zone, and yeah, CLEM just looking for the high ground, looking for the better position. We do see some mines really strong as a counter against all of that, the units, all of those Zerglings from SERRAL. And CLEM, luckily for him, he did make it here through. He did manage to take out the hatchery, but yeah, SERRAL just expanding all over the map and even having control of the middle of the map with this creep spread. His units are really fast to move left and right just to defend as much as possible. So yes, they're also always leaving a group of Zerglings just to attack. And yeah, CLEM tries of course to snipe as many queen eggs as possible, tries of course to delay the outcome as much as possible for the Zerg, but it's really such a hard game. We see more and more upgrades going out for the Terran, as more and more Banelings are being spawned. And look at that, once again SERRAL defending, but he leaves those units in the front just to kill as many SCVs as possible. As 4 SCVs has fallen once again. Queens are here to defend Banelings as well. CLEM does a really nice job microing those Marines left and right, even though it's a quite small group. And yeah, SERRAL retreating, but in the end he needs to be of course really careful against those mines, those widow mines, really deadly, like I told you, against those Zerglings and Banelings. CLEM at the same time now moving forward, but it looks like he's going to be straight surrounded here, so he has to pick his units up and just retreat. Still checking this expansion, having a nice mine here. So yeah, looking really good for both of them, as it's still anyone's game. Worker wise the same amount, army wise also the same amount, so but a much harder game for the Terran of course, as he has to multitask quite frankly a lot here. So yeah, once again SERRAL tries for us around, but there's just so many Marines, so he has to retreat. And the mines also getting some good connections for the Terran player, as yeah, mines it is for CLEM as a counter. He might try some Hellbats, try some Hellions. Let's see, you actually see Liberators in the air really strong against those queens, but it's just 2 of them, as SERRAL just moves here forward attacking, and the other queens are pretty much healing themselves up. In comes CLEM once again with his small task force in the lower part of the map. But yes, SERRAL, I told you, really mobile, really fast, and also really smart with his Zergling luring those mine shots towards one Zergling, so really hard to execute. But yeah, nice shot nevertheless by the Finnish player, this time one mine dealing really great splash damage, as SERRAL always on the hunt now for those mines. He has an overseer in the air, and CLEM once again tries to snipe. Of course this expansion is really important. Yes, so many units for SERRAL left and right. However, the Terran has of course more supply, given the fact that those mines, look at that, this one with 25 kills, so many kills for the mines. Really great counter against this Ling Bane army composition by the Finnish player. Let's see how things will unfold. The economy looking really great for both players. The harassment is also really nice, both players. Very balanced gaming here. And yeah, CLEM decides to take this expansion as well, but SERRAL on the hunt. He needs to be once again careful against those widow mines, and great baning connection this time against this infantry. And not paying attention, of course, caught off guard. He doesn't have any detection besides scan, and yeah, he needs to be of course much more careful. The mines will also be sniped here by SERRAL, but in the end CLEM brings more and more mines towards this location just to hold it, just to fend off SERRAL as much as possible. At the same time we see 8 kills, 8 drone kills. Only appears to have been a drop here by CLEM, so CLEM doing a nice job attacking here into this location. The same can be set here by SERRAL, also going to send out his Zerglings out on the map, and he's going to snipe as many workers as possible. There is a Liberator here, but yeah, nice mine connections by CLEM, killing 14 drones, and SCVs has also been killed, as SERRAL tries now to push this back as much as possible. Yeah, in the end, the drones can come back to mine. So once again, both players get the same work account. And once again, going for the high ground, and we do have Ultralisk for SERRAL. So this was his idea: hive into Ultralisk. The Ultralisk really tanky unit, but the Terran also has snipers. The snipers would also be a really great counter towards those Ultralisk. And let's see if this is going to be the decision from CLEM, as currently he just has to deal with some pesky Zerglings here into this area. So yeah, Zergling really, SERRAL really making much done with a small group of Zerglings towards CLEM. Once again, CLEM tries of course to snipe this location. It's really important. Not that many mining bases from SERRAL being left, so this new base here has to of course be the main target by CLEM. Yeah, nice scans. Still don't see any snipers in his army composition. He did add however Marauders, and yeah, Marauders with concussive shells really strong. As he once again SERRAL tries to poke here his way through, sniping some SCV. Every SCV kill is of course really important, and yeah, more and more SCVs are being killed left and right. So CLEM has to retreat a little bit. At the same time he's moving forward, tries to lure the units in towards those mines, but it's just so many Ultralisk. And yeah, let's see how things will unfold, as SERRAL actually dropping in supply, interesting enough, even though he did kill some SCVs. SERRAL having 10 more workers than CLEM, but his economy should be much better than his opponent. Army wise, the Terran having so much more supply than the Zerg. And let's see how things will unfold. We also see the upgrades here, both players giving much importance towards those upgrades. 3-3 and 3-3 for the Terran as well. And yeah, CLEM deciding now to lure the units from SERRAL towards him. We even have a Viper with parasitic bomb, so nice bomb being launched. We have a planetary fortress in the back. The SCVs should be able to really go. No, they have to be micro back as SERRAL moves here forward and snipes the planetary fortress really nicely. Sacrifices some banelings of course for this. Once again, a small task force for CLEM moves out against SERRAL, but SERRAL seems to be prepared. He has Ultralisk. The space is once again up and mining. CLEM knows this of course, as he has very likely scanned the location. Really hard for him to punch here through so many Ultralisk and even Zerglings, as more and more of the infantry is going to fall for CLEM. So in come the reinforcements just in time for CLEM just to fend this off. So Liberators in there really good against those Ultralisk. And yeah, let's have a look. CLEM once again attacking into this location as well, and the lower left part is also really important for him. Let's have a look. He somehow did manage to snap this hatchery. Perhaps just steamed up and straight went for this one hatchery. This is going to take out more and more Ultralisk. His units are really low, so the medivacs have to heal them up. At the same time, once again, a small group of Zerglings sniping the workers from CLEM. There's another task force is attacking here by SERRAL. So yeah, SERRAL all over the place this time with many Ultralisk, and CLEM does step out. So in the end, CLEM acknowledges. No, hold on, CLEM won. Sorry. Yes, in the end, SERRAL acknowledged the fact that he just went way too down into supply, and his hatchery has been sniped here. So did the hatchery in the lower left. So yeah, the Terran with a nice move. So it's a victory for CLEM. The French player currently leading with 1-0. Let's just go straight into game number 2. And we're back with game number 2. This time both players spawning on Beckett Industries. Interesting map. Never heard of this name, however. So yeah, CLEM once again spawning in the upper right as the blue Terran, and in the lower left in the red it is SERRAL. This score is of course not real. CLEM having a 1-0 advantage. So in the end the hold was really strong by the Terran player, as I was expecting him to actually tap out given the fact that SERRAL went through with those Ultralisk and banelings. But no, in the end SERRAL falling to 100 supply, so he knew that there wasn't much being left for him, so he just had to tap out. So yeah, CLEM leading 1-0. Let's see how things will unfold into this game. Perhaps there will be some different strategies for both players, as currently CLEM just deciding to open up just like in game number 1 with a barracks and supply depot. Hold on, we actually see SERRAL going for a spawning pool first, so no expansion first this time for him. Interestingly enough, he might try a harassment against CLEM. on this map. Of course, his overlords will search for those proxy barracks. And yeah, there is this one hatchery, so different build order for SERRAL. It's going straight for spawning pool first and then expansion into extractor. Perhaps he's going to be sending some Zerglings early on towards his enemy. Could be a possibility, as the SCV should also be out really soon on the map, just to scout the territory really soon. Minerals have been saved for the expansion. There's the scouting SCV. Let's have a look. Just a couple of Zerglings are now being produced, 4 of them. As the first Reaper is also being spawned, you can see everything here in the upper left part, just in case I'm missing something. So yeah, in comes the SCVs. He's going to see the hatchery really soon. He's also going to see the Zerglings, so he knows that it is of course a faster spawning pool for SERRAL. And yeah, let's have a look once again how things will unfold. Is there going to be so many Rexes for CLEM, or is he going once again into one factory with a starport? It looks like factory into starport for him. Let's also see the timing from the second expansion for SERRAL. Or is it going to be a second expansion? You can also go for a tier 2 upgrade really fast. It could be an option. This is exactly why CLEM sends here a Reaper towards the base from SERRAL, just to see exactly what is going on and even be lucky to snipe one drone or two. Let's have a look. This Reaper now getting dangerously close to this one drone, but CLEM not deciding to commit. At the same time, SERRAL moves out with a couple of Zerglings. But yeah, one Marine is there to respond, so he should be able to fend this off really nicely. Yeah, still no second expansion. Let's check the main once again. Also no tier 2 upgrade. So let's have a look what exactly the plan from SERRAL. By the looks of it, is just going to drone up. But yeah, there is that second expansion at the 3-minute mark for SERRAL. The expansion also being finished by CLEM. I see both players pretty much are going to prepare now their macro oriented game, as we have one Reaper still into this location healing himself up. It's going to be of course as much as annoying as possible as he can, as more and more drones are being pumped out of course by the Zerg. 30 workers against the 27. We will see how things unfold. Remember, CLEM having a 1-0 advantage here, as he's going once again just like in game number 1 for mass Hellions, and this should be of course some Medivacs. No, actually a Banshee this time, so no Liberator. He's going for a Banshee. Let's see the anti-air for SERRAL. Just should be some couple of Queens, and notice that SERRAL is going for Roach Warrant this time, so we might see a timing push by him. Tier 2 is not being went for, and the Hellions make their way through. So those Hellions once again really looking strong, and if the drones are nicely clumped together, they could get so many kills here. 4 drones, but many more could follow, as yeah, SERRAL nicely spreading those drones and now leaving those Queens to take care of the Hellions. Still the Hellions are alive and they might snipe some units here, but yeah, sadly for CLEM only 4 workers have been killed, and a pretty good job by SERRAL defending this off, as CLEM now losing. Pretty sure he's going to lose this one Hellion as well, so not really the fair trade he wanted, as he lost 4 Hellions and 1 Reaper against 5 drones. So yeah, lucky, great defend by SERRAL against his opponent. And there's this tier 2, so we will see exactly what the idea from SERRAL is going to be against CLEM. Hold on, some Hellions do make it here through. Banshee Cloak is also being researched. Let's have a look, where exactly is that Banshee? Can't spot it quite yet on the map. Should be the second Banshee, or is it? Let's have a look what exactly the target from this Banshee is going to be, as the walling is also being prepared by CLEM. Here we do have the 2 Banshees, but interesting enough, CLEM perhaps is just waiting for that cloak device to be activated, and this could be really deadly. This is exactly why spores have been added by SERRAL into this location. Let's have a look at the main. So yeah, all the bases do have spores, so detection is there for the Finnish player. So in come the Banshees. Remember, they can one-shot a drone, so 2 Banshees can one-shot 1 drone. Let's have a look. Is he going to be successful finding a nice position? Detection is there, so SERRAL of course thinking about any option. And yeah, CLEM not really making anything happen. Perhaps right now he might snipe one drone or two. So yeah, nice job, benches, proving to be much better than liberators for the French player. In the end, two drones have been killed, but also lots and lots of damage have been taken by the benches. But they do have cloak now, just had to be deactivated given the fact that there's not that much energy being left. So yeah, nice defense once again by SERRAL. Slowly but steadily we're closing at the 10-minute mark. So yeah, once again both players are preparing their macro game against each other, and SERRAL even taking the 6 o'clock, adding of course a spore as fast as possible. And they're just retreating those benches, having the infantry here with the tanks. 3 tanks it is for CLEM, as he might try once again to move out. Some long distance mining happening with those SCVs. And yeah, even one overseer is going to check the water here. We do see 5 barracks actually. So once again, mass bio for CLEM with 1 starport and 1 factory. Let's check SERRAL really quick what exactly he's going for. Once again, his hive, so we might see those ultralisk once again for him. Yeah, let's see how things will unfold exactly for both players. Currently it's just a stalemate in between them. Yeah, more and more roaches are actually being produced. You can see all the production tab here in the upper left part. Upgrades for those marines, but CLEM playing it really defensively, expecting of course an attack by the Zerg as more and more barracks are being added. So he's going into mass bio, mass marines with marauders. And let's see if SERRAL is going to decide to attack with his roach ravagers combination. Sorry, Baselli, he's also closing at being maxed out, so really soon an engagement might be tried by him. Creep spread also looking really nice, but CLEM is actually the first one moving out, as we see an infestor with fungals, really strong. Even with mind control, the tanks for example could be mind controlled by those infestors. As more and more is being added, the hive will also be ready really soon, as we also see a lurker then being made by SERRAL. So SERRAL deciding of course to go for lurkers. Lurkers really good against the infantry from the Terran. And yes, CLEM still deciding to stay back, making more and more marines, having his siege tanks sieged up, of course making it really hard for any Zerg to punch here through. So perhaps the Zerg is going to try even a Nidus Swarm, could be a nice option for SERRAL. Let's have a look what exactly he's going for. But yeah, those 3 bases are really nicely defended. Buildings all over the place. Finally in comes SERRAL with his roaches, with his ravagers, but yeah, CLEM on the defense with his infantry, with those tanks in the back, having steam of course being done. But yeah, the steam has expired, so in comes SERRAL with his Zerglings in the front, with his roaches in the back. Just tries to deal of course much damage towards the infantry from CLEM. And yeah, let's see for how long CLEM is going to be holding, or is he going to push out? It looks like he's actually going to push out with his siege tanks, with his infantry. And yeah, in comes CLEM. He has the high ground, his units are nicely being spreaded against SERRAL. The siege tanks aren't siege up, they're just attacking now. And yeah, really nice job by both players of fending off each other's attacks. Nice micro, but we do have lurkers. Yeah, the lurkers have been scanned, but CLEM needs some snipers really soon. And yeah, even once again some roaches are moving out here by SERRAL, and CLEM really has brought a lot of his army in the front, so there's no turning back. Those roaches will deal quite some economic damage. 10 workers, even 12 workers have been sniped by the roaches. Eventually the roaches will fall, but hold on, we actually see also CLEM moving out. His tanks are nicely hidden in the back, the infantry is in the front. So much for SERRAL, as he's going to be able to push this back. So 14 SCVs have been killed. The tanks are nicely being guarded in the back, but the roach ravagers balls, the fireballs, are also dealing quite some damage towards those siege tanks. So yeah, nice trade for SERRAL if you ask me, as he was able to snipe those 14 workers, as his opponent will be much stronger now against his opponent, and even the ravagers getting nice connections against those tanks. But the lurkers are also in position. In comes the infantry nicely kiting forward, but lurkers are there to defend. And even ravagers and roaches, even queens and infestors are here to fight for SERRAL. So really hard game for CLEM to make anything happen, as his supply is quite plummeting now around the 100 mark. And yeah, Sorry Bastelli here is of course to remake those SCVs into his main. So the main attack has been fended off by SERRAL, as SERRAL left a small group of roaches here into this location just to attack the expansion point from CLEM. So nice multitask this time by SERRAL, proving to be really strong and deadly against those SCVs. We have passed the 10-minute mark. More lurkers should be added of course by SERRAL, as those queens are spreading the creep really nicely. And yeah, let's see what exactly the next steps are going to be, as both players are just into this location checking themselves out. And yeah, let's see how CLEM is going to proceed. Now we see once again going to try to move forward to attack his opponent. Infantry is there, just a couple of tanks, just 2 tanks this time. At the same time some marines do make it here through, but yeah, SERRAL being prepared for that with some Zerglings. And yeah, CLEM pretty much taking the control of the middle of the map, sniping the Queen X just to not allow that creep spread. But the creep spread is already here, almost knocking at the door from the expansion. And hold on, we actually see a attack by CLEM towards SERRAL. We do have some harpoons out of those Vipers, so the tanks will be taken out, and the infantry deals quite some damage towards those roaches. This is exactly why SERRAL tries to lure the infantry in towards those lurkers. So really interesting game. In come the infantry once again by CLEM, going perhaps to steam up and tries to snap this location. But yes, SERRAL pretty much prepared for that, as he's once again going to torpedo one tank. And yeah, even now Hydras have joined the army from SERRAL. So much damage is being taken by CLEM. He has to pick up, he has to retreat. And at the same time, hold on, CLEM actually with a small task force might be able to snap this one. Hatchery is falling really low, so great job by CLEM, even sniping one lurker. So nice job by him, as in the end he will be cleared by the forces of SERRAL. SERRAL at the same time with just one roach into this location. And yeah, nice scans going out. Even those lurkers are a little bit exposed. SERRAL has to retreat, he has to regroup. There's a small task force from the Terran is nicely attacking those lurkers. Great parasitic bomb now being used by SERRAL. And a nice micro by CLEM into this location with his infantry nicely spreading those units against those lurkers. So really great micro by the French player. Let's see, SERRAL having the high ground. The tank is however in the back, some Vipers in the front being mismicroed or immediately being killed of course by CLEM. And yet the lurkers are here in position just to fend this off. So yeah, the infantry is coming here towards CLEM. He's just bringing more and more reinforcements towards the attack, and a nice flank by the French player. But it's just so many roaches and ravagers. And let's have a look. And the lurkers in the middle of the map now. CLEM has to pick up, he has to retreat. The tanks will be snapped. Stim is up. CLEM tries to go for the high ground, but his infantry is quite hurt, as he needs to find a better position. So in come the tanks from the back. The lurkers have already borrowed. SERRAL tries of course to lure the enemy out of the map, but yeah, CLEM sees of course everything with nice scan. So he's just going to stay here into this location, holds his ground, as SERRAL might try to attack onto another position, or he just might try to drone up a little bit more. Hold on, we do actually have lurkers slowly but steadily pushing more and more forward towards the base from CLEM, as even the command center is taking damage and even the Zerglings are pulling in. Let's have a look. 2 SCVs have been killed, and we do see 2 Liberators into this location, but immediately getting snapped by SERRAL with some fireballs. So really nice job by him. And yeah, SERRAL just has to perhaps reposition those lurkers. He leaves some lurker behind just in case there will be an army push out, as he's now heading straight for the middle of the map. Once again, the Vipers are in the front with blinding clouds. Parasitic bomb has not been used, just blinding clouds, as Hydras are here for SERRAL as well. CLEM tries to come in from the back. Nice scan to snipe those lurkers. And yeah, let's have a look. Zerglings come here to support the troops from SERRAL, as so many units have to be withdrawn at the same time. So many Zerglings are in the front, so really hard luck game for CLEM this time, as he's going to once again take so much damage. The lurkers have been bored. They will attack the infantry from CLEM, as even 10, even more than 12 SCVs have been killed here, as the Hydras also make their way here forward, and so much action going on, so much damage being dealt by SERRAL towards CLEM. And yes, this will be of course the victory for SERRAL. So SERRAL counting the score to 1-1. And yeah, let's just jump straight into game number 3. And we're back with game number 3 in between the two pro players. Currently the score is 1-1. So let me just start again once again by introducing the players to you guys. As we have spawning here in the lower left in the blue, it is CLEM, and his opponent in the upper right in the red, it is SERRAL. This time spawning on Jagannatha LE. Very interesting map. So let's see if anything different is going to be happening now in between the two pro players. Let's just see if they're going to be changing something. Perhaps a proxy could be an interesting idea here for CLEM, as I don't see a barracks yet for him, but he might, yes, of course, he's going to continue with a barracks, so no proxy intentions by him. Let's have a look at the SERRAL. He might try to go straight indeed for a fast expansion. No spawning pool first for him, straight into fast expansion. So the pretty standard overlap once again by both players, nothing out of the ordinary. The overlord is actually checking the proxy locations just in case CLEM tries something out of the ordinary. So SERRAL wanting of course to be prepared for everything. We also see his gas, this should be his spawning pool, still the same, and we see the barracks for CLEM, as some minerals are also being saved up, so he's actually going for his expansion as well. So you're pretty standard up and up, pretty standard build order by both players, as the scouting SCV is also being sent out for the Terran. So yeah, nothing out of the ordinary yet. Let's have a look how things will unfold. Is CLEM perhaps trying to go for a mass barracks? It could be a possibility. Currently just a Reaper. And what will be the next buildings? A factory, a Stargate. This is going into a supply depot. Let's just check once again the timing from the second expansion here by SERRAL, as the spawning pool is about to finish here for him. SCV comes in, sees everything, sees the expansion, as is now returning home with that information. And yeah, CLEM still only at one barracks. The Reaper is out. So a pretty standard Zerg versus Terran once again on Jagannatha. And yeah, in comes the Reaper. He should be here really soon. Queen is also being produced, but this Reaper might try to kill a drone or two. One drone already taking quite some damage. Both players really being very careful, as one drone might have to be turned into a spore by SERRAL. Let's have a look. One Zergling also falling really low, but the Queen should be able to fend this attack off. So yeah, there is this other expansion by SERRAL. There are the Queens, actually two of them, be able to take care of this Reaper. Let's just check the main once again from CLEM. There's that factory and another command center, so he's not going for starport, he's going for command center. Quite a more greedier gameplay by the French player. I really like that. Well, like you know, the score is now 1-1. Let's have a look how things will unfold into this game, as more and more creep is being spreaded by SERRAL towards CLEM. And yeah, slowly but steadily we're closing at the 5-minute mark. Some mules are being brought here by CLEM, so CLEM looking like he's going to invest more into his economy into this game. Going to land this command center pretty sure into this location, but hold on, we actually see a nice hidden starboard by CLEM. But what exactly is he going to be making out of his starboard? Perhaps some banshees, perhaps some liberators. Let's have a look what his option is going to be, as this one port is really close to the economy from SERRAL, and it's not being spotted. He actually goes for a medivac, so the medivac here for him. The Hellions will very likely drive towards this location, and as soon as they arrive, the medivac will be able to pick them up and to attack very likely this location. It is not guarded at all. The Queens are of course here in the front. Some of them are being busy with the Reaper, so really smart move by CLEM, as some Hellions now return to this medivac. Let's have a look. Actually, the medevac can pick up 4 aliens, and this could be really deadly. No defenses here for SERRAL. He now sees the medevac, but he's really fast with his Zerglings, and they're going for a surround. Nice pickup once again by them. He's trying, of course, to find a good position for those Hellions, but it looks like, yeah, CLEM interestingly not deciding to pull back. There is speed being done for those Zerglings. There was a queen here into this location. Now once again CLEM is trying perhaps to drive here straight towards the economy from SERRAL, but yes, SERRAL having those queens nicely being spreaded. CLEM once again on a new position, but the observer here from SERRAL gives, of course, good information. Hellions now dealing good damage against those Zerglings, so some Zerglings will fall. Of course, Hellions really good against them. And yeah, let's see how things will unfold. CLEM is very likely still going to be roaming around against SERRAL, and yeah, looks like he's once again trying to find a good position. But yeah, SERRAL even taking this expansion here, so feeling really confident as the expansion from CLEM is going to be floating towards his location. So sadly here for CLEM, his medevac not really making anything happen. The overlord here really important for SERRAL, as once again CLEM tries to come here forward. Even the creep spread is really nicely by SERRAL. Yeah, CLEM still roaming around, still forcing, of course, SERRAL to stay home as the tier 2 upgrade, and Steam is also being really soon finished. So yeah, sadly here for CLEM, his plan didn't really work out. Let's see at the next moves by him, as some Reaper is just still going to be roaming around. A nice creep spread once again. SERRAL connecting all of his bases with creep, really nicely being done. And yes, SERRAL, CLEM sees now this expansion, and let's have a look what exactly the tier 2 will be here for SERRAL. What exactly his plan is going to be. Is it going to be some roaches? It looks like a Bane combination for SERRAL once again. Ling with Bane, just like in game number 1. But hold on, we do see some Hellbats now turned into Hellions. Might have been a push, but there were Banelings in the back. And yes, CLEM has to perhaps regroup in the middle of the map. Team is going out, some Zerglings will fall, but there's Banelings, of course, and those Banelings are really good against this attack by CLEM. So yeah, CLEM perhaps is going to try for a Doom drop. Would be a possibility with so many Marines, and also many Marines, actually more and more Marines here for him, and the Medivacs. It looks like he's going to try to go here towards the base from SERRAL. SERRAL not having so many units, but of course those Zerglings really fast onto creep. And we also see all of those upgrades going out here for CLEM. CLEM giving, of course, much importance. Those 1-1 Marines really strong in the middle of the game. We are closing at the 10-minute mark. More and more is being produced for SERRAL, more and more Zerglings and Banelings, and he might even get some nice connections here against CLEM. CLEM is finally in a good position, but he has to, of course, pick up and then try perhaps once again to go for the main from SERRAL, but SERRAL has all of his units. He even has a spore here. Let's check what exactly his idea. Burrow is being researched. Is he going for a hive? It could be a possibility with some ult risk. Always good against the infantry. And yeah, let's have a look at the next steps for both players. Nice walling by CLEM into his main. Let's check his main once again. There's 2 factories, lots of barracks once again, and that hidden starport. As those 2 medivacs still try, of course, to deal damage towards the economy from SERRAL, but currently just a couple of Banelings and Zerglings are being sniped. And yeah, CLEM just healing up here, just staying into this location, knowing of course that SERRAL also has to leave some units behind if he stays here. But hold on, actually now see if SERRAL move out with a strong force of Zerglings, but the high ground is of course here for CLEM against his opponent, so SERRAL has to retreat. At the same time, CLEM still roaming around here, still trying to make something happen, but he's also finding time for his expansion here. And yeah, let's have a look at the workers. Actually, CLEM at 70 workers, really strong. 18 workers for SERRAL. And yeah, army wise, SERRAL having more units than CLEM. But let's see how those things will unfold, as CLEM once again might try to target here the economy from SERRAL, as SERRAL is now punching his way forward, and there's not that many defenses here for CLEM. This could be really deadly, but no, SERRAL decides to retreat. And slowly but steadily CLEM is now moving out with his infantry, with his tanks. But yeah, SERRAL coming in from all the sides, from the back, from the front, from the sides, really engulfing all of those units from CLEM. So CLEM got a little bit off guard, has to give up some of his units. And yeah, really strong defense and nice offense as well here by SERRAL, as he's even bringing some queens towards this location. Yeah, there are those queens just to spread the creep as much as possible. And yeah, those medivacs still into this location, still roaming around, but not really getting anything done against SERRAL. SERRAL still has this one spore. Perhaps with some afterburner he could go here straight for the main. It could be really risky, but hold on, we have another engagement. SERRAL once again with a great surround against all of those units. So much damage being dealt towards those marines. Nice job here by SERRAL. And yeah, all of those medivacs are retreating, but they're pretty much empty. SERRAL might try now to split his troops, to try a pincer maneuver, to try to attack at multiple location. It could be a possibility. His economy looking really strong, but the same can be said here by CLEM, as he has 81 workers already. Those players really nicely with their economy. Army wise, of course, the Zerg has much more army than the Terran, as is now once again pouring here his Zerglings towards CLEM. CLEM has to just pick up. SERRAL still not deciding to attack. The wall in is pretty good here. Some units are here to defend. This location is also being defended, as another expansion is being prepared here for CLEM. But there is a hidden Zergling borrowed, as yeah, once again SERRAL now on the offensive here with some Zerglings, with some Banes. Let's see if he can make anything happen. The high ground is of course here for the Terran. The tanks are nicely being spreaded, and in comes SERRAL with his Zerglings, but he has to of course retreat. So many tanks at the high ground and the infantry just in time. But yeah, he's preparing, looks like he's preparing yet another attack into this location, so he has so many forces spread around the map. CLEM once again on the defense. He has to of course stay here. He has to protect those two expansions, are really important for him, as SERRAL also taking here the 11 o'clock. So mass Zerglings with Banes. Let's have a look. Some Vipers have been added, of course Vipers with those harpoons, with the blinding clouds against the tanks. Also nice unit to have. Infestors also really good with Ungles, but there is no such unit, as once again SERRAL decides to go for Lurkers. So Lurkers it is, as it torpedoes those tanks. And yeah, once again a better position this time for the Terran, as he's hiding those tanks behind the building. So nice building placement by CLEM, as he should be able of course to hold. SERRAL decides to regroup in the right part of the map, and let's see if he can make something done. He's going to commit with his Zerglings, going for a surround. Nice surround. The Banes aren't really getting any connections, as the Zerglings do block them, and the Banes on the retreat. Parasitic bomb has been used. So much damage is being dealt against those medivacs, but in the end, yeah, SERRAL just has to retreat. He just knows that his economy is a little bit stronger than his opponents. And let's have a look. This Overseer here could also give some possibilities for SERRAL, as more and more Zerglings are being poured out by the Zerg player. So mass Zerglings it is here for him. CLEM on the defense with tanks, with infantry, still waiting for his chance to move out, still inviting SERRAL for attack. He knows of course he can deal so much splash damage against those Zerglings. And yes, 3 workers have fallen, even 5. Yes, not that many here to defend for CLEM. Still many units have fallen for SERRAL as well. And hold on, we actually see 2 Nidus Swarms going out for SERRAL. So yeah, CLEM has to retreat really quick with some units. Should be able to snipe at least 1 worm or 2 at the same time. SERRAL attacks here up front, so perhaps it was just a fake move out with those worms just to attack this expansion point, and 1670 workers have killed. And here come the Lurkers, but there is scan available and there are units available. However, the damage is also being dealt here into the expansion point from CLEM. Nice multitask once again by SERRAL, as he's even attacking into this location. So yeah, nice offense, perhaps also a small fake by SERRAL. Just a couple of lurkers into this Nidus Worms, but in the end he has done quite a nice job sniping 22 workers. So CLEM dropping to 76, 88 for SERRAL. SERRAL also sacrificing quite so many units, but it was, I believe, pretty much worthy. SERRAL still having more supply than his opponent. And yeah, let's have a look. Is CLEM going to find the courage to move out? Going to the high ground. He has really many snipers. Really good against those Vipers, lurkers as well. Always a nice unit to have in the late game. But yeah, SERRAL committing on mass Zerglings with Banelings against his opponent. Let's see how this is going to unfold for him. Once again, some lurker actually is being able here to deal some splash damage towards those SCVs. At the same time, now in comes SERRAL once again towards this planetary fortress. Not that many defenses, he's even attacking left and right, so CLEM caught a little bit off guard. The planetary has fallen, 8 workers have fallen as well, so interesting enough, CLEM not having any units here at the first to defend. Finally there come those snipers back. Really a hard game for the Terran against so many Zerg units. Even those SCVs could have been sniped, so luckily here for CLEM not losing those units. Zerglings have borrowed as once again SERRAL prepares another attack towards his enemy. And let's see what the next location is going to be, as the scan should be able to kill those Zerglings. So yeah, once again SERRAL with his mass links, with his mass banes, going for this attack. The tanks are nicely hidden behind the rocks, so they should be able to deal splash damage. But there's just so much Zerg here for SERRAL, as once again the planetary is going to fall really fast. 5 workers as well at the same time. SERRAL making some damage here into this location, sniping some turrets, sniping anything he can with so many Zerglings, and of course delaying the mining time. But yeah, CLEM just had pretty much enough of this. Going to move out with his infantry, with his tanks, actually with everything he has. So he leaves of course a door open in the back for SERRAL to attack. This is not defended at all, so it looks like CLEM is going for a base trade. There is no turning back now for him, I believe. Some units will however have to be retreated as he stays into this location. And yet the expansion here has fallen, of course. This one is not being guarded at all, so interesting enough, CLEM deciding to attack, so the attack is going to be of course the best defense. But 19 SCVs have been killed, however CLEM now on the offense really strong. Some lurkers are pouring in blinding clouds by those Vipers just to shut down the tanks. Nicely executed, as the Banelings also will deal some damage, so SERRAL pretty much ignoring this attack as he's moving up forward with his forces against CLEM. CLEM of course will be able to hold. He has scan against those lurkers. And yeah, both players now just regrouping, just retreating. The expansion has been sniped. Let's have a look how things do look at the supply depot. We have 77 army versus 84, so still very balanced game. Still anyone's game worker wise, also pretty much both at the same count. As yes, SERRAL even taking now, wishing to take this expansion here very close to CLEM. And yeah, once again some Zerglings will be sent out by the Finnish player, and at the same time some Zerglings here as well, so CLEM sadly not being able to defend here. He has to bring some reinforcements. And interesting enough, CLEM is deciding to GG out, so I believe he would have still had a chance here. He had not that much supply, but he still would have had a chance. But yeah, interesting enough, I believe he just had enough of it, so he decides to tap out. Yeah, interesting idea by him, but I believe he still would have had a chance, but then again, it's his decision. So SERRAL leading 2-1. Let's just jump straight into game number 4. And we're back with game number 4. This time on Oxide LE in the lower left, in the red it is SERRAL, and his opponent in the upper right in the blue it is CLEM. Currently SERRAL leading 2-1. Interesting enough, CLEM deciding to leave that game, even though if you ask me he still had a chance, but then again of course he has his calculations and so on. Yeah, let's see if he's going to try anything different, but by the looks of it, no, he's just opening up really standard with that supply depot. Let's have a look at SERRAL. Is he perhaps going to try something cheesy, perhaps a macro hatch here into this location? It could be a cheesy move by him, but then again he's leading 2-1, so let's have a look what exactly his plans are. Currently he's saving money for a expansion. Yes, indeed, a pretty standard open up by SERRAL. Same can be said here for CLEM, so both players playing it really safe. Gas is also almost being done by CLEM. And yeah, let's have a look how this game is now going to unfold. 2-1 it is for SERRAL currently. Let's see what is going to happen as the overload also moves out. SERRAL always checking those proxy location for those barracks, but yeah, no such thing for CLEM yet. As CLEM, by the looks of it, the same build order just like in the previous games, going supply depot barracks and then into his command center. Yeah, there are those 400 minerals, so the SCV should come out really soon, and at the same time the scouting SCV is being sent out, so really nice build order by the French player. And we will also check the build order for SERRAL. There is the spawning pool with gas, and we're waiting of course for that third hatchery. He could have also built it already, he has the minerals, but perhaps he's going to try to add more overlords or some drones. So yeah, interesting enough, SERRAL is having now 400 minerals already. Let's see what his plan is going to be here against CLEM into this game. With this we do see of course some queens have to be built for SERRAL just for those defensive purposes in case there is a Reaper coming. That Reaper should come really soon into this location, as the overall is going to be seeing of course everything. So yeah, one Reaper is out. Let's see exactly where he's going to head. There's the drone for that other expansion, and yeah, there is the Reaper just coming in here with a grenade just to be as much as annoying as possible against SERRAL. But yeah, this will be of course ended off just like in the previous game, just as soon as the one queen pops out. So yeah, there's the queen. Reaper has to retreat a little bit. There is a queen here as well, and the expansion is also about to finish really soon for SERRAL. Now let's just check the main from them. Factory is there and another command center, so once again he's not going for starport as the search, he's going straight for a hidden command center, which he very likely is going to land here into this location. So I'm once again playing really safe against his opponent. And yeah, let's have a look. Tier 2 of course not yet being upgraded by SERRAL, still droning up. Same can be said for CLEM, he's also adding more and more SCVs as the refineries are also being added by him. So yeah, let's see what exactly is going to happen. There is the once again Hellions. So Hellions of course the answer for many Terran against the Zerg early on. Really deadly unit as they can snipe so many workers. So this is exactly why queens have been prepared here by SERRAL to fend this off. Let's see, is CLEM going to commit with the Hellion, with the Reaper? There it is, he might be able to snipe something here, but it's just already a queen being prepared. Here 2 still not being done by SERRAL, as more and more creep is being added by him just to connect those expansion through them with creep. And yeah, let's see, CLEM still waiting for more and more Hellions. He might even go for 8, even 10 Hellions, and with this count you can of course snipe so many drones. It could be a possibility for him. Let's see if he's going to commit. So now currently he has 4 Hellions and a Reaper, but yeah, those queens are here to defend. This CLEM will decide to go for another position, perhaps now even sniping some Zerglings. So yeah, both players on a waiting game, and the Banshee has also been added. So Banshee really good, better than a more mobile than a Liberator. Let's see if this one Banshee can snipe any units. And yeah, let's have a look at the next build order. We actually see a tier 2, it has been hidden here at the expansion point layer, and we actually see a Nidus Worm, but where exactly is SERRAL going to be using this one Nidus Worm? Let's have a look. He does have an Overseer here. Does he have some units? Just a couple of Zerglings. Some queens are being spawned, and yes indeed there is this one Nidus Worm, and sadly CLEM doesn't have any vision here. So yeah, he's pretty much being blocked here by his own building. Some Hellions are out, but they're really far. Now he's going for those Hellbats, he's going for Banshees, so this is a timing push by CLEM, but at the same time in comes some Zerglings for SERRAL. But the real threat of course are those queens here into this one Nidus Worm. So both players pretty much going to commit here. CLEM into this location. SERRAL tries to fend it off with some Zerglings, but those Hellbats are really strong. against the Zerglings, and SERRAL actually retreating the queens just to kill those Hellions somehow, but at the same time no, he's actually bringing them back. So a guessing game here for both players. What exactly is going to happen? The expansion can be abandoned by SERRAL. Some queens are being left behind, but they will be sniped. Let's have a look. The queens are in the main from the Zerg, and in come the reinforcements. Those Zerglings are pouring in for SERRAL, so SERRAL pretty much decides to abandon the expansion. That's okay for him, but 7 SCVs have already killed. CLEM is in some serious trouble. Tank makes it out, but he gets immediately surrounded. The Banshees in the air is going to get so many kills. And yeah, what exactly can CLEM do? He has to, of course, micro those SCVs in the back. More and more units might get poured in by SERRAL. The Hellbats have to retreat, but like I told you, they're not that fast. Perhaps he should transform them into Hellion. Those SCVs in the back. There is another bunker here. So much damage being dealt by SERRAL against the production buildings, against those command centers that had to be uplifted. Not to mention the mining plant that has been delayed. Even those SCVs in the upper part that had to be micro back. So a really strong push here at the 6-minute mark by SERRAL. He has even the high ground, but in come the Hellbats from the Terran. And yeah, let's see, more and more is being sniped by SERRAL against his opponent. There's still one bunker being left alive. And yeah, CLEM pretty much has to take the other expansion, but there are some Zerglings here. And yeah, even a Nidus Worm is being added by SERRAL, so really smart gameplay here by him. Sadly for CLEM, he's now being choked here into this one position, so pretty much being surrounded by SERRAL. More and more units are being added by the Finnish player, so a great timing push by CLEM it was actually here, sniping the hatchery, but at the same time SERRAL with the same timing push with a Nidus Worm with a tier 2, as he might be able to snipe some SCVs now. The worm has been killed, and yes, SERRAL actually moving out forward with the Zerglings just to deny as more and more mining time as possible. Really nice game here by the Finnish player. And CLEM has his expansion. We have a Liberator. There's also so many hurt SCVs, so those queens might get lucky with some shots against those SCVs if SERRAL finds the position. Yes, indeed, he will be able to snipe even more and more. And yeah, what a hard game here for the French player it is, as more and more Zerglings do pour in here for him. So really hard game. Zerglings are into this location, of course, because CLEM doesn't have that many defenses, as he has to even defend the first location here. So really hard game for him. Let's see what other units is SERRAL going to be added. Tries of course to snap as many SCVs as possible. Currently SERRAL leading with 10 more workers than his opponent. The SCVs try to repair the Banshees, but more and more damage is being taken. As there is once again a counter, but we do have Mutalisks now in the air for SERRAL, and as soon as CLEM sees those Mutalisks, he knows it's pretty much over, so he has to tap out. Sadly for him, both players same count with a timing push. SERRAL with a Nidus Worm, CLEM with those Hellbats and the Banshees. Really nice job, but then again SERRAL went straight towards the main, straight towards the production buildings, and CLEM just targeted the expansion. SERRAL was willing just to leave some queens behind, and in the end, yeah, so much chaos has been cast into the main, so many SCVs have been sniped as CLEM just giving up. So this time the Finnish player proving much stronger than so congratulations for him, congratulations to both for a nice series. I hope you guys enjoyed the series as much as I did. We'll be seeing you of course in the next replays. This is Tommy signing out.